I am working on the hole position again, and I want to get this sanded down and painted. So basically, I'm just going to sit here with some, gotta clean this bench, with some 180 grit sandpaper by hand. And I'm just going to sit here and get this all sanded down. Once I get it all sanded down, I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. If it looks good, we'll go outside and spray paint it. If it doesn't look good, I'll put another coat of filler on it. But this is that U-pull glazing putty filler stuff that I showed you yesterday in the video. So you can see it sands pretty easy with 180 grit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this sanded down, get it ready. So after I 180 it, I'm gonna 320 it if I like the way it looks. If I don't like the way it looks, I'm gonna go over it with a little bit more filler and then sand it again, and then I'm gonna sand it with 320 grit before I paint it. So I'll be back in a little bit once I get that sanded down. Okay, I got it sanded down with 180 and 320. It feels pretty good. So let's go outside and use a little bit of this Krylon matte black all-in-one primer and paint. Probably gonna have to put a good 5 coats on here. So let's go out there. I set a bucket up out there. We'll put a first coat on. Okay, that's looking actually pretty darn good. We'll let that set for a little bit. I'll put a couple more coats on it, and then in a little bit, we'll look at it. Okay, that bezel is dry. It's actually the next day. I'm having a little bit of a problem uploading videos the past couple days. I think it's because of this solar eclipse thing coming. I live in Ohio, and we're like right in the prime area for it to happen today. So, my internet's been a little bit screwed up. So I just quit recording last night because I didn't feel like dealing with it. So what I'm doing now is cleaning up the shifter and the steering wheel. There's some like gunk and stuff on here. I'm gonna see if this Quad Zero steel wool, and I'm gonna rub all this chrome down to get it nice and cleaned up. And the steering wheel handle itself is in really good shape. And the chrome on these steering wheels are not very good. It's not like they're a quality, show quality chrome for like a car. They're just a basic chrome finish. More of like an industrial chrome, I'd say. I'm going to touch up this black, probably with a little bit of spray paint, just to clean it up a little bit. I'm not going to do by the gears because I don't want to spray paint all that stuff up. Just trying to get the gunk off of it. Even the sticker in the middle is still in really good shape. So I'm gonna sit here and get these cleaned up, spray paint the black spots on here, and come back and we're gonna put the shifter and the steering wheel onto the control panel. So I'm gonna sit here and clean this for a little bit, and then we'll be ready to put it on. Okay, let's go ahead and put the shifter in first. Trying not to beat up the front of this cabinet. Put the shifter in first because that's a little bit lighter. And then the steering wheel we can put in after that. I did get wing nuts for the control panel. Just went to Home Depot and bought a package of 4. They are quarter 20 wing nuts. But when I was at Harbor Freight yesterday, I bought a whole box of wing nuts for $6.99. And they had a bunch of different sizes, so I just bought a box of them because you also use wing nuts on like cars for like the old air cleaners and stuff like that. So I just bought a box of them so that I had them. So this is the piece that goes underneath. You got to remember actually how this screws in. These screws here. You go grab a nut driver for these. Okay, so I got to put this in the right orientation so that the Atari logo is going the right direction. So that means this goes like this. Then we got to slide this in from the other side. Hopefully. Tight fit. Okay, then we gotta get it through like that. And you gotta be careful putting these are 1/4-inch head screws. You gotta be careful with them. Don't go cranking it down super tight because you can crack that plastic. Especially with how old this plastic is, you gotta be a little bit more gentle with it. And the funny thing is they didn't use a washer, but I guess you really couldn't because it's so close to the housing. All right, I'm gonna put these other 2 screws in real quick. Okay, shifter is all installed. I have the hardware for the steering wheel now, so let's get that put on. The steering wheel goes on with carriage bolts, and I painted them black so that they look good. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to kind of cock it this way because I ended up taking that shifter back apart and moving it so that the wires are on this side of the shifter, so when it shuts, they're closer to the front edge of the cabinet so that the wires don't have to go as far. So these I put a lock washer on and then a nut. We'll tighten them down real good. Then we can hook up the wires to these. We're gonna have to solder the wires back onto the shifter because those I had to cut. But I left a little bit of the old wire on the micro switch so that I knew which one went where. There's a white and a black, and the black is my ground. White goes to the top spade connector on the micro switch. We're getting there. This is almost done. Got to do a little work to the board still, the power supplies and the PCB. Probably just do that on the next video. I want to get this control panel all together, get it plugged in, get it bolted down and shut, because hopefully I won't have to open it back up. So I'm going to go and get these tightened down, and then we will work on the wires, show you which ones go where and what colors they are, in case somebody needs to know that. I'm just going to use an open end wrench, I think, to tighten these up. All right, let me get those tightened and then I'll be back for the wiring. Okay, that's all tightened down. So now we have a ground wire that goes here, which they just had it wrapped around that tab. We're actually gonna put a little nut and bolt through there. So we have this is for our shifter. It plugs in one way only because it has these locking tabs on here. So once you push it in, not the shifter, steering. Once you push it in, it locks into place. We have our 2 shifter wires, which are right here. So we need to solder these back on. I'm gonna have to splice them, get my cordless soldering gun, and we'll get those soldered back on. These are my speaker wires, which are too short. I need to move where I have that one cable mount for the wiring harness. I have it in the wrong spot. So this, I'm gonna put a ring terminal on here and we're gonna nut and bolt that onto there. So let me grab some sandpaper because I need to clean the paint off of that. Because if I don't clean the paint off of that, there's no point in hooking up this ground wire because it's not gonna make contact with the bare metal. I believe they grounded these maybe for shock purposes, so people maybe didn't get static electricity shock on the metal. I'm not sure because I don't really see any other reason for it, but that would be my guess. Just like Williams games, they seem to have put ground wires and straps on every single thing on the cabinet. So let me get some sandpaper, a ring terminal, a solder gun, and stuff like that. Okay, should have everything I need. So we need to get these old wires off of here. I always spill solder on shit that I've painted. All right, splice these. I know that my ground goes on the top. They're black. Should be a hole in here that I can stuff this through. Yep, I guess we'll just put it on top. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more solder just so it's buried in there a little bit better. There we go. Now the solder's over top of the wire. Okay. I'll tell you what, this cheap solder gun I bought off of eBay, they make them for all different style rechargeable drill batteries or anything like that. They make them for DeWalt, for in this case it's for Bauer. They make Milwaukee. I'll show it to you here in a minute. I'll tell you what, man, it's pretty badass. So it works pretty damn good for a portable soldering gun. I need to add more solder to this one. Okay. But yeah, so basically it's just this cheap soldering thing, and you buy it. It was like $39, I think it was. It's got an on-off switch back here. This is a 3D printed case that they put it in, and you can put it on whatever temperature you want. I mean, it goes up to like 1,000, and you turn it down to wherever you want. It actually works really well. I was really surprised for what it cost as to how well it actually works. Now this mount here, that's crappy, but that doesn't mean I can't open this up probably and tighten it up inside. But yeah, that right there sucks. It just falls over on you. But other than that, I mean, I really can't complain about it for the price. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm actually gonna cut this wire down because it's got a clump of solder on it. Now we're gonna use a crimp connector with a shrink tube already on it. And I always use these style crimpers with this big notch right here because it really crimps the wire in good. This heat gun works really good too. It just takes a minute to warm up. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call. So this is shrink tube now, nice and tight onto the wire. Let's sand that metal just so we have a good connection here. I see that a lot with people that restore games. They don't sand that down, and then there's no point in putting it on if you don't have a connection to the bare metal. Hopefully this isn't too long. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab a Phillips screwdriver and tighten that down. It's one tool I did not grab, but anyways, I'll just do that off camera, and then we're gonna hinge this shut. I'm gonna go ahead and put the wing nuts on because I don't think I need to go back underneath here, because if I really need to do anything, I could probably just do it from inside the cabinet. So, all right, let me grab a screwdriver and tighten that, and then we'll shut the control panel. Okay, my ground wire is tight. So shut this up. Okay, looks pretty good. Looks real good. So I'm basically going to reach under there. I have washers. I want to put washers on because the wing nut could slide through that groove in the plywood. So basically I need to just open the coin door, reach up there, and tighten these up. Maybe easier said than done. There we go. Beautiful. I'll do the other three off camera. No point in seeing me struggle. And then we're going to go around back and we're going to move that one wire for the speaker so we can plug in this lower speaker. Upper speaker's already plugged in. And then we need to wire the coin door, which I have the wiring behind me. We'll put the wires back on that, get that plugged in. And then I'll have to see if there's anything else I want to do on this video. If not, the next video we will fix the power supplies as far as doing that sense mod to both power supplies. And we'll fix the wiring on the PCB so that it's separate for the two power supplies. And then at that point, we're ready to plug it all in and see if it works. Okay, so basically back here, what I need to do is this needs to get moved. Some of these zip ties that were on the wiring harness were broken off. So there's other spots right here that have broken off zip ties. So I need to just move this over so that the speaker wires will reach the speaker. So I'm just gonna do that off camera. It's kind of hard to see in here, but I'm gonna get that rerouted so that those make it over to the speaker. And then after that, we're gonna hook up the coin door. I think I'm just gonna call this video after that. And then the next video, we're gonna fix the PCBs or the power PCBs, and then do a little bit of work on the main PCB, put it all in here, plug in the monitor and stuff, and see what we end up with. Okay, that wire is moved in the back, so now the speaker is hooked up. I have my wiring harness here, the coin door. So we just need to plug this all back together. This is the free play switch because as far as my knowledge, they don't make a free play for pole position. So you have to have a credit switch or you have to use coins. I have a credit switch on mine too, just like this. Okay. Now I got to figure out which wires are for the coin mechanisms, coin mechs, and then the lights, which the lights have a smaller end. They have a smaller size connector on them so that they fit onto the lights. And now if the light bulb doesn't light, I might have to switch the two wires around. I'm missing one on that side, which I'll have to get one. I believe I should have some in the basement, so we can have both lights light up. Man, cannot get this one to go on. Okay, and then this one will go over here. And then this is broken. This zip tie here is broken. I have to put a new one on with an eye hook so that we can get this up in there. And then we have another broken one off here. We need to put another one on here so it can screw in up here and then plug in. And then these are the credit buttons. We're missing some other parts here. Slam switch and stuff like that is not here. But not really much I can do about that. I don't think I have any extra ones of those. But these are our ground wires. Oops, goes on this one, I believe. Okay, so we have that hooked up. This would be for like a slam switch. These two are for our other light bulb housing, which I'll have to go find one of those. And then we need to change out the zip tie here and here. So let me go find those parts. We'll get that done, and then we're going to end this video. And we're at the point now where we're just about ready to fire this thing up and see if it's going to work. Okay, I found what I needed. I have a light bulb holder. I'm going to use an LED lights and light bulbs in here. Now these are directional, so if I put it in this way and it doesn't light up, I'll have to flip it this way. And then this should just slide right over that on here. Hopefully. I might have to do a little bit of work to it to get it to stay in place, but that's not a big deal. Now I'm going to take out this one and change it to an LED bulb as well. This is a 194 bulb, looks burned out. So we'll put in an LED in there. I'm going to have to mess with this a little bit so it fits on there a little bit tighter, but I'll do that afterwards. That's not a big deal. And then I need to cut off this zip tie and put one of these ones on that have the hole so we can screw it in place like it's supposed to be. I thought that was a Phillips screw, so I need to change that, or I got to go get a nut driver for that. That thing's tiny looking. Then we got to put one on here. I don't know where I put my other zip tie at, but I'll find that and grab a nut driver. There it is. Okay, go get a nut driver, we'll put that on. Like I said, this isn't the exact right socket. This socket is more geared towards a plastic one of these rather than a metal one. So actually, I wonder if I can have a zip tie go in there and hold it to tighten up the gap. I just want to test it here to see. No, that's not really going to work. All right, I'll figure out something, or I might have to just put a zip tie around it. Don't really want to do that, so I'll see if I can't. I might have another holder as well, so I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna go grab a nut driver for that, and then we're gonna end this video. Okay, it is a 3/16. I don't know what this ground, there's a ground wire going to here, but I don't see a wire that's cut. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so I need to grab a new loop. We need to put that on there. This is a 3/16 nut, or screw head. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this one because it's kind of, that plastic is wedged around it real hard. Thank God for old plastic. It cracks right off. Okay. So I'm gonna go grab a terminal, put that on there. Okay, beautiful. And then, like I said, this one's gonna go over there. There's a screw hole left for that, and then I'll plug the two in. All right, need a terminal for that. I try to hook every single thing up on one of these games like it originally was done. Uh-oh, I don't know where the heck I put that little screw at. There it is. Okay, I'll do that off camera. All right, guys, that's gonna end this video. I don't remember what part we're on. I do have a playlist for this. I'm making playlists for all of them so that they're all in order to make it easier for people to see from start to end. Then you can follow along a little bit better rather than, you know, because every day I post a video and some are of one game and some are of another game. So it's a little bit easier to keep track of the restore by having it in a playlist. So it's looking real good. I'm really happy with it. I just have to hook up that coin door. I'm gonna tie up those wires right there, but it's coming together. Next video, we are going to get the power supplies ready, fix a couple wires on that PCB, put the Dallas RAM chip on the PCB, and then we are going to put them all in, plug them in, plug in the monitor. We're gonna leave the monitor on a stool behind the cabinet. We're gonna get it plugged in, get the monitor to fire up, and see if it comes up, if it works. Do all our monitor adjustments while it's on the stool, so it's really easy to do. And then we can put the monitor in, slide the PCB in, slide the two power supplies will be already in, and pretty much that should be it. So I'm gonna say the next video is going to finish this game. And maybe tomorrow night we'll do it. Tomorrow afternoon, I think I'm gonna get this finished up, and then we can go back onto the Stargates and get those going next. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe, share, give the thumbs up, and I will see you guys later.